Greetings, good people, our listeners out in the spaces of the world. We are Mia and JP of the Paid in Full podcast, and we are back with our newest episode. Hey JP,
Good morning.
how are you?
I'm blessed.
Hey, highly favored. There you go.
Fantastically well.
Beautiful. Well, it's good to be back in the closet studio with you. JP is far away from me. We moved back in, y'all, because it's a lot more intimate and a lot more of what we're looking for in terms of feeling in the closet. So we're sitting back in our closet and not in the living room where we're all out in the open and exposed to the children and to the sound.
Yeah,
So
and it sounds better.
it does. It does. So I'll get back used to being a foot away from you. So
A foot away.
yes, a foot. This is a foot.
Okay.
Approximately. So, for those of you who are first-time listeners, welcome to our podcast. We are focusing on matters of the heart in terms of relationships and specifically marriage, as we have been married for 11 years. And we sprinkle a little family in there as well. So, welcome. Again, if you deem worthy of listening to another episode, we have 10 former episodes in front of this, so please feel free to peruse our catalog of fantastic content that we are putting out in the universe. So welcome, and welcome back to our regular enthusiastic listeners. So let's get started on a topic. What do we want to talk about today, JP? I want you to introduce. I'm going to force it. So,
We're going to talk about relationships.
of course, we always talk about relationships.
Real generic. We're going to talk about family, love, inspiration, guidance,
He's trying to, y'all,
motivation,
somebody get him. So,
positivity.
specifically today, we are going to talk about, we're going to do a little bit of a positive energy.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
We can do
Let's
that
talk
as well.
about you
I think that'll
and
kind
me.
of flow,
Let's
but
talk about
our
all
focus
the good
in
times
today
and the bad times there. Man, okay.
is positive energy, and I guess energy overall, and how energy can add to and distract from your relationships. And we're going to kind of build away from not only just romantic relationships, but also other relationships that we have. Family and friends, professional, social, those kind of things. And then we might also talk a little bit about growth mindset. We'll kind of let it flow today and see what ideas we have. That sound good?
That works.
And not just guidance.
Body positivity.
All the positives. All the positives. So let's see here. I'm going to start us off with a quote because, of course, I'm an English head. So here's a quote for you to sort of think on, JP. Everything around us is made up of energy. To attract positive things in your life, start by giving off positive energy. So, do you think this quote is accurate? So I'm going to read it one more time so you can mull a little bit. Everything around us is made up of energy. To attract positive things in your life, start by giving off positive energy. What do you think, sweetie?
It makes perfect sense to me. You get out of the universe what you put into it. So if you're waking up with negative thoughts about how bad the day is going to be, pretty much your day is going to be bad. So again, it's a matter of putting out into the universe what you want back.
Yeah, I agree. And I also recognize that it is difficult and it depends on your individual circumstance. How sometimes you got to just fake it till you make it. And you're in a temporary situation. Sometimes people make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings and emotions. And so we wake up with kind of a because I'm working on this now. I'm like, okay, I need to be better about the morning. I need to be better about being employed, gainfully employed. I need to be better about pulling in from the universe the things that I want. So oftentimes people are emotional and cannot quite see around through the forest that they're in. So we do recognize that it is hard sometimes to focus in on, all right, let's think of something positive. But I'm in the mindset that when you start to see things dip in your life and things start going wrong for no reason, then there must be something you're putting out into the world or out into the universe. And so we got to swerve that a little bit, swerve it around. So, yeah.
When was the last time you had to reset?
Give me your definition of reset. Tell me what you mean by reset.
When you felt yourself going towards a negative towards a negative outcome. For example, you had to just say you had to stop yourself and kind of reset and say that I need to stop this, reset myself, and focus on the good.
When was the last time I had to do a hard reset? Hard reset was probably 4 years ago when I did the big career change, when I went from the one to the other. I do soft resets every day because you have a computer and they say, what is it, like the reset is the cold boot and the shutdown is the warm boot, I think, or I might have them opposite. No, warm boot is resetting your computer and cold boot is starting your computer over. So because it's the difference in the reboots.
Okay.
So I think of it like that.
Tech savvy. All I know is Control Alt Delete.
No,
Or just
that's
hold
what
the
they
power
say.
button until it cut
Until
off.
no, you're supposed to do it from the screen.
All right.
So
Okay.
so I call it, so the hard reboot is really sitting down and making a list and saying, hey,
First
something
of
is
all, we're
wrong.
back. Technical difficulties, so this is a whole new stream. We had to jump in and plug in, but we will get back. But we
We're
were
here.
talking about me as hard reset. Dun, 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 dun.
So I was going to talk about the difference between what I think is a hard reset versus a soft
You was finna
reset.
jump back in like you was a rapper.
Yep, and just keep going boom, 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 boom. So you said jump in. I was going. I was just going to like double dutch in. So yeah, so I was saying that the difference for me between the hard reset is sitting down and saying, hey, there is something wrong. I am not fulfilled. I'm not happy. I need to change. And then the soft reset says every day saying, all right, what do I expect to be different today? What do I expect to be off? And what can I do to try to keep myself from snapping at somebody? So, and I have to soft reset every day because of course I work with, adolescent, very prepubescent teenagers. So they always find a way to maybe do the hard breathing in the classroom, just a deep breath. So yeah, so I soft reset pretty much every day, being a mommy and, being a very active teacher. So yeah. But when was yours? Was your last big reboot? It's probably more recently than mine.
I still haven't had one. The big one I had was when I decided I need to move to Georgia and get away from Illinois.
That's a big one though.
Outside of that, my resets are I I I shift my energy away from negativity. So if 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 there's a aura of negativity, Johnny's gonna go the other way. I'm not. I don't have time for it because my energy pretty much remains the same, and I'm not gonna allow anybody to come and disturb my peace. So
That you do. You're not lying.
I don't have time for it because I
Yeah.
cuss real easy,
And he does so well not cussing
and
in front of the
I
kids.
try not to cuss.
Yeah, because Drew would just give you the business first off, and then it's a form of putting it out in the universe. You cussing, that's negative energy, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting here looking at this little quote here. It says, neurologists, wow,
You
English teacher.
realize
Yep. Neurologists claim that every time you resist acting on your anger, you're actually rewiring your brain to be calmer and more loving. So you
ding,
do
ding, ding,
that.
ding, 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 ding.
Calmer. JP has, I call it his aura. I seek him out because I know that if I am wound up, that he is probably one of the only people on this planet who will keep me together, who will actually physically bring my blood pressure down. So the fact that he stays away from negativity, he doesn't soak it in, that's a gift, first off, but it's absolutely true. So, which I think what makes us work
And I
well.
smell great.
He does. He smells good. So, that's a really good question. I'm hoping that we won't have to do too many of those hard resets because it's a lot. It's a lot of brain power. It's a lot of, you're trying to avoid regret. So it's like, all right, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to go do it. I don't know if it's the right one, but boom, here we are. So you haven't had one in years. It's
Mm-hmm.
been a while, but you're
Mm-hmm.
so even keeled. So yeah, I think I'm at the part where I won't have to do those hard resets. So, and I think every day we do a form of a soft reset anyway. So, depending on the folks you're working with. So that's a good one. Yeah. Um, I'm thinking about energy and gratitude. And they say that gratitude, if you're really, really trying to put gratitude out into the world, it can basically transform any situation that you have. And that's another thing that's really, really difficult is really saying, okay, I hate my job. I hate the girl I'm with or the guy I'm with. I hate the situation. I hate how I'm being treated. But where do you find gratitude in that? Because sometimes it gets so deep that when you're looking around and like, ooh, where did I get here? How did I get here? It's really difficult to find something to be gracious, to be happy for
Mm-hmm.
when you in it. Because we haven't had many situations where we've been in it, not in that way,
Mm-hmm.
but we've been in moments where it's like, okay, this hurts. So, what would you say in terms of advice, I guess, or maybe advisement on how to find, I guess, how to figure out what your where is your gratitude when you're in a situation that's not positive or that you're in a situation that's not healthy? What would you say to that? Am I clear? Because I know that sounds, because I'm coming off the top of my head. So, how do you find gratitude when you are in some stuff?
S- the kind of the four A's,
Hmm.
the four A's of a relationship, and this is like any relationship. It could be
Hmm.
friendships, relationships with your family, and not only with your spouse, but work relationships and things like that. So the four A's are
Hmm.
to appreciate,
Hmm.
admire,
Okay.
adore, and accept.
Appreciate, admire, adore, and accept.
Hmm.
Ooh, that last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of the basis of kind of
Hmm.
the basis for me. I kind of make sure that I stay on a line
Hmm.
with all relationships that I have. I appreciate the relationship.
Hmm.
I admire I I have an admiration of
Hmm.
of the relationship. I,
Okay.
I adore I adore you and my family,
Hmm.
and in some that are not necessarily the best case scenario, I
Hmm.
accept it. Um, and that's a willingness on my part, with accepting it, because I can also cut that, but for the most part I accept it. But that's a,
Hmm.
that's a choice and a decision that I make.
Hmm. I like the four A's. There are several relationships that are in different, it feels like stages. They feel like stages. And so I think that if you're starting off at the top stage and you kind of move through whatever the relationship is at that moment in time, then you're able to move through those different stages and figure out exactly which A would work for your life and what would work for the other person or the situation. So yeah, so because I can think of some that I can appreciate. I can think of some that I adore right now, but you don't always adore the same ones. So relationships adjust and they evolve. So that's the 4 A's.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna have to keep up on those. Look at you with the psychology.
Look at me.
I'm looking. Um. Okay. Do you have? Okay, so this is probably something I probably asked you a long time ago when we were doing those getting to know you. What's your favorite animal? What's your favorite color? Kind of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any affirmations or any like positive sayings that you have in your mind that you kind of live by? Do you have anything that you live by?
Somebody's gonna be rich. Might as well be me.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at you. Your eyeballs are so big. No, it's just I didn't expect that one.
You asked.
I, yeah. Well, okay. I didn't have no comeback.
Hey,
I would thought you were gonna say mental toughness, but extra effort, but that's not what came out. So, because that's the one I know he has one he always says, which is like his professional, approach to professionalism. So mental toughness, extra effort, but
or give without remembering, and receive without forgetting.
receive without forgetting. Yeah, I remember that one too. I remember you saying that one a long time ago.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Okay.
every day I wake up, there's an opportunity to get some money. I mean, so
Mm-hmm. And we gonna go get it.
I'll do whatever it takes.
I like your affirmations. I'm in a moment where I'm trying to find some that really, really speak to me because people have affirmations every day and people meditate and they say, you can try this, put this out in the world. And I'm like, but that doesn't speak to me. So I'm trying to find one that really works. So all of our listeners, if you have a affirmation that really, really speaks to you, tweet us, Paid in Full Pod. Follow us, tweet us. Let us know some of your positive affirmations and positive sayings that get you through the day. Because I'm struggling a little bit with trying to find one that's like, yeah, that's me every day. I would see it in the mirror.
That juvenile high is not a song; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. See, I need something like that. It's
Hey.
got to speak to me. I got to like believe it. Because I know, there's, tough times don't last and all those good things. Yes, joy comes in the morning. Yes, I know those things. Those things are beautiful. But sometimes you need a little bit of,
You a paper chaser. You set the block on
You-
fire. Or
yeah, you need something to be like, you point at yourself in the mirror. You do a Issa mirror rap.
this is it. What? Lucini falling from the sky.
See, JP know what we talk. That's what I'm looking for, y'all. Something that's like, you just get in the mirror and hey, it makes you get in the car and go get it. Go and get it. So that's what I'm looking for.
Maybe Will Smith, just the two of us. I know that's kind of your speed.
I'm gonna just,
Free Will Smith. Free Will Smith.
oh Lord, he
Will-
said
Will-
just the two of us is my speed.
I don't know. I'm just saying. but
We're talking about positive energy. Let me not
I'm
put that
sending
energy
positive.
into the.
I'm sending positive
No, the
energy
one
to
that's
Will
in my
Smith.
brain to you.
Oh, okay. Free Will Smith. He
Oh,
is too good of a guy.
to be going through what he's going through.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
That's a
we
whole
know.
nother pod. Anywho,
Entanglements.
so
Tupac.
all right, so let's just take another. We're gonna switch lanes on the highway because we are on this highway, and kind of peel over to how positive mindset versus negative mindset, or how mindset in itself and energy in itself can help your relationship or hinder or distract from your relationship. I like the word distract a little better. So let's talk about the latter first because it's easy. It's easier to go where it could go wrong. So I'm going to ask you the question: how do you think energy? Let's start it with this. How do you think energy impacts your relationships? how does energy impact your relationships? And not just romantic, but of course, we could start at the romantic side and then get into maybe familial relationships, social relationships, professional relationships. Because we all go to work and we have families, go to school. So how do you think energy can impact, whether it's positive or negative?
Our relationship,
We can start with ours.
or just a
I
general?
want to do general, but we can start with ours. Start with the romantic and then we'll branch out. And then I'm going to chime in.
Again, maybe I need to do better with reading reading the room or and handling it, but I just don't do negative energy. I I'll prefer to give you your space. If I sense that you are off or anything, I'll ask how you doing. If you're kind of off, I choose to give you your space because I know you as a person that pretty much you work you're able to work things out, and if you need me, then you would run it by me. But as far as try to force you to do something that you're not in the mind space of right now, I just personally won't do that.
Yeah. And that's something I'm learning. Of course, we've been together so long, and I'm still it still like boggles my mind that we still
What's
learning stuff
wrong?
about each other.
Talk to me. Let me
That
help.
JP does not do that.
Come
And I don't
on.
know if
Share.
I watch a lot of TV and I'm expecting that because the men on movies do that, but JP does not. And I don't know if sometimes I want him to ask me what's wrong so that I can kind of unload, but then he's not an unload kind of person. Like he'll just sit there, he'll listen, but then he'll be like, all right, and he'll solve the problem.
Okay.
Like he'll be like, but
I
have you
have
thought about it this way?
I have to get to the solution.
Yes.
So
He don't have time for
whenever
it.
you're ready for a solution,
Then that's
come
when you
on
go.
to me.
Yes, and
But
that's what I've learned. Don't talk to him about what you're thinking of. Like he's not a let's come up with some ideas to do this. JP is just gonna solve the problem. So if I need ideas, I need to run some ideas by. I need to go to somebody else, but or go to my journal. But my husband, he's going to solve the problem, unless I actually will say, "Can you just listen to this and tell me what you think for a second?" But still, he's still like solution based. He's a solution based person. So
because people don't listen.
mm-hmm.
People don't listen
They
because
don't.
they're called ask holes.
And what's an ask hole?
People who ask you for all the information in the world, and
Mm-hmm.
you can tell them that, and then they do like the complete opposite or pay no attention to what you told them. They do it more so to just fill airspace, and that drives me crazy.
We. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I know some. Because you give such great advice, and
And
if it's not what they want to
I
do,
don't talk
they
much, so I don't like wasting my words.
yeah. Yes, yeah. I know that, I see that. It's not even in your vocabulary to just give somebody what they want to hear. And a lot of times you say people don't listen. Generally, no, they don't. But a lot of times too is if you're going straight to the solution and it's not something that they want to salute at the moment, it's not the solution that they want, then it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. But thanks for your information. I'm just going to go over here and do this. So yeah, I understand that. So energy, I think, is a large part of any relationship, especially since we are in a moment in history where we are figuring out what life is really about and what life should be about. And bullshit should not be on that list anywhere. And
what what was that?
bullshit, what we're figuring out, I know Drew's going to get me when he hears this. He's going to be like, Mommy, you cursed. But we're learning, and I'm thinking a lot of us are really, really learning this. is that we just don't have time anymore because time is now a commodity. Time is now more precious than it was. We've lost so many people to something that we shouldn't have been fighting in the first place. We are having to deal with a lot more contention and conflict in the world. We just don't have time for negative, goofy ass stuff. Like it's not any time for it. So energy in itself is now becoming something that people are being much more aware of. So I think with us, because we're becoming more aware of how we're feeding off of one another and how we're treating one another and how we feel, it's kind of branching out into everyone that we know. So we're like, hey, is this person a positive energy? Is this person a negative energy? Who do we need to stay from away? Who do we need to gravitate to because they're a positive energy?
Lit.
So, you said what?
Lit.
Am I not clear?
No, you said you. We'll listen back to it, but
What I say?
I don't know.
I was saying that who do we need to gravitate to because they're a positive energy, and who do we need to stay away from because they're a negative energy? I hope I said
I
that.
hope you did too, but we'll find that out when we
Y'all
play this back.
Please don't charge it to my head. Again, we do these off the top of our head, so I am just going off of
Freestyle.
ideas right now. We freestyling, so.
Die-line.
But yeah, we're learning about energy and how it manifests in relationships. And some people are just like little ticks, and they will eat on you, on your energy, until you are null and void. If you're a positive energy or vice versa, it can just impact, I think, every little thing. And we are energy, like humans. We are just in our human form. Our energies are trapped in our human form, but we're just a ball of energy. We just have nerve endings and emotions and blood flow, but that's what we are. So that's why I think we attract and we work so easily together, because we have a common positive energy, and we repel or try to repel those that are more negative. And so I'm trying to get like you with the actual repelling, because I think what happens with me is that people are so magnetized that I soak it in, and then I'm coming home and like pushing it back out, and it's not good. It's cloudy.
And don't have multiple negatives. I mean,
Okay.
if you got a bad attitude, you can't be musty too, or bad breath.
Oh my. Oh
Just
my.
pick and choose your
Pick and
negatives.
choose your
So
negative.
if you
Oh
just
my God.
be happy, Tim, and musty. Don't be
Angry.
bad attitude Nancy and be musty.
Oh my God.
It don't match.
What if they don't know they musty?
I don't
Somebody.
know.
I
I don't
don't know how to
I'm
fix it.
just saying in general.
Just fix it.
I'm just
I
saying,
know
in
what you're saying
general.
though. Yeah, yeah. Because like people have a bad attitude and then be mad that people don't want to be around them. And so you mad because you lonely and you have a bad attitude. But then you have a bad attitude because nobody want to be around you because you lonely. It's like a circle. Sweetie, get it together. So yeah, I get that. You can have multiple. I like the term multiple negatives.
Yeah. So mine might have been a little extreme, but there are others. I'm pretty sure you could come up with them. I went with the musty route. But
Right.
don't
But I
have
get what you're saying, babe.
bad attitudes
Yeah.
and musty don't mix.
Yeah, yeah. I understand it. So yeah, so um I'm scrolling through quotes. These things get really deep on the internet. I'm not going to even really get through all of this. Growth mindset. We'll kind of go into that lane. We're going to just use the signal and get over into the right lane. Because I think the idea about being positive versus negative, and your energy and watching your energy, protecting your peace, because that is a major thing, also aligns with the idea of the growth mindset. So if you're unfamiliar with the growth versus the fixed mindset, growth mindset people are ones who are willing to do the work to get to where they desire in life. Generally, this is just really big general terms. Whereas fixed mindset people generally feel as if you must be ordained or talented, to be able to do these things. And thus, if they're not that, then they won't get there. So it's the difference, for instance, between being born a LeBron James versus being groomed and working hard to become a LeBron James. So thinking about growth mindset versus fixed mindset, I always, just naturally as a human go along, all the people I know, most of the people who I'm close to, whether they're growth or fixed mindset, I always think about them. And then it always goes back to how positive or negative they come off. And so my mind is always, growth mindset people tend to be a little bit more positive about things. Fixed mindset people tend to be more negative based, even though it's probably not in all cases, of course. But that's generally where my mind goes when I start making my comparison list. So do you think that a person who has a growth mindset can have negative energy and vice versa? Or do you think that a person with growth mindset can give off negative energy and still be successful?
If they're not aware of of their surroundings, because if you have a singular a singular focus on a goal or something that you're doing, as part of your growth mindset, you might offend other people who might not understand why it is you're doing what you're doing. So you can have all the best intentions in the world, but if you're not aware of how that affects others, then it can become a negative.
Okay. Because I'm thinking about, if you have, I don't
So,
know.
say for example,
Give me an
like
example, yeah, because I'm thinking of something.
Brad, I would say, like, this is kind of a general one, but I would say like Brett Favre,
Okay.
for how great he was and how long he played. He probably neglected his
His
family.
family.
Yes.
Okay.
But he was focused on what he was doing for that.
That
Like
tunnel vision.
they may have got it, but there was probably a lot of stuff that came off wrong because of the way that he focused on what his goal was for how he wanted to be.
And that's where I'm thinking about is how, we're supposed to be about our goals and about our dreams and going out and going to get it, but it just feels as if there's not enough time and enough energy to accommodate everything, and that
Yes,
scares me. And then that makes me think I'm a fixed mindset. Like I'm like, that's a fixed mindset.
and
So
to personalize it, just to check on all the sots out there, spouses of teachers. That could be a thing, because a lot of teachers are completely focused, and as you know,
go ahead and tell them. Tell the
as,
people.
as, as you
I want to
know,
hear this from his point of view as the husband of a teacher.
as a spouse of a teacher, I I catch a lot of we because there's a lot of us out there. We catch a lot of what's going on, and these teachers are really involved and dedicated to their craft. So there is no off switch. Everything is going to somehow come back to a classroom. You could be eating curly fries, and you can then it would just snap. Jamal doesn't like curly fries. Jamal gets on my nerves. And just stuff. It's just
I
stuff
don't
like.
know what Jamal.
But I'm just saying
I
though.
know, I know.
You are
Yes.
teaching is your life, and
Yes.
because we are together, then I have to understand that.
And I'm going to add on to that because I know. And then I have my love language is words of affirmation.
Hmm.
So I think when I'm talking to you about things I'm thinking about, the way that I want you to respond is in kind and in saying, hey, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Or, no, I don't think that would be a good idea. Like for me, it's always about you telling me that what I'm saying or not saying is true because that's the way I love. So
Did
it's a
did I
hard
pronounce that
life.
right? Is it SOTS? SOT?
Salt.
SOT.
Uh-huh.
SOT. Spouses of teachers.
Spouses of teachers.
Yes.
Uh-oh, we may have to copyright that. SOTs. Y'all are SOTs. Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Cause I need my certified teacher's assistant.
He does.
Dang.
He does.
Cause yeah.
Yeah, y'all gotta. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad you're saying it on the computer.
That's the thing.
And now I will be much more aware because sometimes I do have to consciously tell myself to stop talking about school because I can't. It's because any little thing is inspiration. So I'll see any little thing and I'll be like, oh, you know what? That would be a good idea.
And
then I'm going to tell you because I tell you
Just talk
everything.
about the spice of the chicken.
I know.
Like,
And I'd
this
be like,
chicken
no.
is so damn spicy.
But not me. I'd be like, and it's spicy. You know who else is spicy? I know. Help us, Father. What we're doing right now is having a live marriage therapy counseling session. But this is why we do our podcast, is because these are things that we need to know and we're talking about it, and now it's like, oh yeah, I do that. Mm-hmm. Let's get your life together, girl. Don't make your husband crazy. So yes, I do. I apologize, love. I know it is. It's hard. It's especially this year. So I'm gonna do better with cutting that off. Cut it off.
You can't.
You
can't.
And then I have.
But I like I said.
Because I got goals. I've got goals.
I accept it. I admire it.
Oh, it's accepted that 4 A's, right? It's you adore your poor wife.
You have your goals and what you want to do, and I signed up for this.
And it will not always be this.
It will.
Well, it won't always be this specific thing that I'm talking about because I'm moving. I have goals to move up. So within my 5-year goals include moving out of the classroom. So
okay.
yeah, that's in 3 to 5. Honestly, it's shorter. So yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, but oh.
But at least it's ideas that you're talking about and not people, because that's
another one of quotes.
That's a mindset thing as well. So you're not small minded because you're not talking about people. You're just sharing all your damn ideas
all the time.
All the time.
All my damn
philosophy ideas. So
psychology.
If we was just gossiping about little kids and them being musty, then that would be a problem.
Yeah, but no, it's always about what I'm going to do to be better. It's always what I'm going to do.
Shout out to Mia's students for never being musty. She hasn't brought a story home about a little kid being musty. So that's impressive.
Because I'll just spray them in their face. That's why. I'll walk up to you with the Glade spray. No, they don't do that in my room.
That was like the worst thing in school. Be like, just be quiet. Somebody musty.
Shout out to the 90s. Now they'll say that's cyberbullying. They'll be like, oh, they're bullying me.
Somebody musty.
Oh my God. And then everybody sniffing and laughing. Yeah. And I have middle school, so they tend to be. But here's the thing:
you gotta drop the pencil and you gotta drop the pencil on the ground.
Low key, smell yourself.
Bend over, and smell yourself to make sure it ain't
you. Because ain't nobody gonna say nobody's name. Yeah, and now I think the kids they come with their own deodorant, so they know. They know. So shout out to all my students. That just sent me all the way back to to 97, dude. That's crazy. All right. So talking about that growth mindset versus fixed mindset.
All over the place.
But it's a good thing because this is how it looks. This is life. Because we're talking about energy and positivity and the growth mindset, babe.
Okay.
So, and I was saying, because here's my little journey trying to learn about the growth mindset, because it's blowing my mind. I know they say that the fixed mindset says that you're ordained. Fixed mindset people think that people are born to do something. I am also under the mindset that some people are born to do something. I don't ever see somebody being the next, Michael Jackson or the next Michael Jordan or some other Mikes. But it's people who do extraordinary things that is difficult to say, hey, somebody else can do the exact same thing they did. So I'm trying to get around that idea that you can work your way and build up to something, because we're normal people, but we have aspirations to be comfortable. Like we don't want to be rich and famous, but we don't want to have to worry about money. Like most
Speak
people.
for yourself, sister.
Oh, so okay, so you want to be rich and famous? That's what you're telling me?
I'm trying to be on all the TVs.
Oh, he says that now, but he's always in the background having me go in the front and talking to everybody. He just back there, not famous at all. So
I'm Ike.
okay. So anywho, nope, I'm not even gonna go down that path with you. So see, you made me forget my train of thought. This is making me go off. So I'm trying to learn how to get around that idea. So, but I was saying that we're regular people and we want to not have to worry about money. So that's a growth mindset kind of thing. So I am trying to learn how to apply growth mindset to all areas of my life. And it's a hard little thing, but I think it's part of your personal journey when you get to a certain point in life. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But I'm glad to be sharing this path with you, JP. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can sort it in. Let me see. I want to find us a really good quote to end the episode because we haven't done quotes in a while. I think I forgot that we were doing the quotes at the end of the episodes. JP puts our music up at the end. In the case that you haven't been listening all the way to the end of our episodes, JP puts up original music, quote unquote original, because it is our music. So I want to make sure, whatever, but we still have music on our podcast. So just make sure you listen all the way to the end because there's music there and you'll like it. It's a bop. It's usually bops.
No pressure.
Let me see. How about, oh gosh, just talking a lot about energy. Okay, so we've been talking about energy and mindset and positive versus negative.
My energy is my energy.
Well, excuse me. That took probably 3 seconds for me to click it too.
Freestyle, son.
Off the dome. So I'm gonna just give a real quote since you're trying to be all poetic on me. Set a clear intention to manifest your desires into something even better. So be intentional in life. It's going to get you to where you want to be. How about that?
Mm-hmm. That's what I got to go with. You said it.
Yep. You don't have to go with it. You can say I disagree and keep it moving.
I can just edit you out.
Well, he's going to edit it. Okay, well, that's fine.
All right, man.
Thank you all for tuning in to our very random but positive energy podcast episode 11 here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, please send them to us at paidinfullpod@gmail.com. That's paidinfullpod@gmail.com. That is the official podcast email account, as well as follow us on all of the major social media channels. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, darling. So anything else we want to give to the good listeners out here?
Nobody's ever gotten in trouble for taking an extra shower. If there's a question, just shower again.
Yeah. Have a good evening, everybody.
Peace.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell who I'm gonna be. Holy Trinity, a part of me. So your energy doesn't bother me. You be capping, nigga, take a knee. Wanna lay back with my ebony. Intoxicated, no Hennessy, floating on cloud nine. I'm so high, just wanna be a friend of me. Look at that, I can see enemies impregnated with hate. Confused cause they can't relate. Bitches who stuck in their ways. Chip on the shoulder, no lace. Dodging the traffic like waves. They smile in my face. Tell them God bless you and have a nice day.
I wake up, face the east, ask the Lord to forgive me. Sins are real in me, I chose to see that the beaming for me. Sabi on the beat, I wanna eat like obesity, baby. Buy some EBT and blow a sweet considering maybe. If she go with me, it's gonna be a romantic occasion. I just wanna see if we can go in on after, baby. Cruising down the street, but I'ma be with a package of candy. Looking for a fiend to come for me with some cash she can hand me. Grab me on the porch, she looking mad with a bell in her hand. Kissed the broken window, now she ready to tag us some ass. This the hood I live in, and you're welcome to come on my land. Leave your ignorance inside your car right there in the trash.
Manic and impressive, depression stays in my guest room. I tried to be ghost, just not built for the chest wounds. Was that too soon? Gay said, oh, please no goons. Discover my religion, full grown beard like loans. Black ribbon in the sky, voice in my head always assumed. Got judged by 12 while looking over my tone. Out of body experience, unforeseen peer events. Wifey got me using fancy GRE words like hints. Fourth, mindset of ironclad retorts. Rosetta Stone we both, trying to reclaim what's lost. Over time, the exterior looks just fine, but it's the fortitude of the interior that defines my grind. I have good intentions, but I'm bad at the start. I only mean well, bet that Jesus knows my heart.
Pray to God for forgiveness, and if the Lord is my witness, I hope you understand my wrongs with all